Today, we're critiquing a teaching philosophy that ditches textbooks for hands-on emotional English labs, like cooking and storytelling. It's a fun approach, but let's just jump right into the constructive feedback.
A methodology deeply rooted in immersive play requires a formalized approach to measuring linguistic progress to ensure the experience isn't perceived as purely recreational.
Definitely. I mean, the text beautifully illustrates engagement strategies, like that memory dish cooking session, but it completely omits a framework for tracking vocabulary retention or, grammatical improvement.
Right, which leaves this critical gap in demonstrating tangible educational value.
Yeah, it's kind of like serving this amazing, immersive dinner without tracking any of the nutritional facts. Like, how do we know the target language is actually being digested?
Exactly. So the suggestion here is to embed seamless, invisible assessment mechanics directly into the creative tasks and narrative follow-ups.
Invisible assessments, right. Because if we introduce obvious testing, we just break the spell of the playroom.
Totally. For example, if you're running a park-based photography project, don't just hand out a quiz at the end.
Right, and I shouldn't just keep a mental tally either, right? Because mental tallies just fail in a chaotic environment.
Oh, absolutely. Instead, you need a covert target vocabulary checklist on a clipboard. You monitor and check off specific words as they organically happen.
Oh, I like that. That covert checklist keeps the data concrete while the assessment remains completely invisible to the student.
Yeah, or alternatively, consider the adults recounting a personal life turning point. You can introduce a brief self-reflection rubric right after, where they rate their own fluency and confidence.
Wow. So they reflect on their own output, which gives you measurable data without ruining the emotional resonance of the story?
Exactly. But relying on emotionally complex mobile sessions presents a severe structural challenge when adapting to widely varying language proficiency levels within the same activity.
Oh, for sure. Because the current framework implies everyone just has this equal inherent capability to participate in nuanced storytelling or like hands-on science experiments.
Which is a huge assumption.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm an absolute beginner, asking me to organically describe my life's turning point in a cafe is going to trigger massive performance anxiety.
Right, it's too much.
I just freeze up because I simply don't have the vocabulary yet. So this approach risks paralyzing beginners while simultaneously understimulating the advanced speakers.
Yeah, that's a huge risk. To solve this, you must integrate explicit, layered scaffolding techniques specifically tailored to the diverse thematic activities.
So kind of guiding different learner levels safely into the tasks before the emotional weight of the activity hits them.
Precisely. Let's look at that memory dish session again. For a beginner about to start cooking, you need to provide predefined sentence stems and vocabulary flashcards before the cooking phase even begins.
Right, because they really need the language building blocks, not just the culinary instructions. That would totally prevent that deer-in-the-headlights moment.
Giving them that linguistic armor early makes the immersive task manageable. And for the advanced learners standing right next to them at the same stove, you assign a supplementary challenge.
Oh, like requiring them to debate the cultural history of the recipe using specific idiomatic expressions?
Exactly. It scales the difficulty within the exact same activity, ensuring everyone is stimulated but no one is left stranded.
Well, to wrap up this critique, we identified two major opportunities to strengthen this methodology. First, implementing invisible assessment mechanics, like those covert checklists and self-reflection rubrics, to quantify linguistic progress without breaking immersion.
Right. And second, adding layered scaffolding, such as sentence stems for beginners and debate challenges for advanced speakers, to safely accommodate all proficiency levels during complex tasks.
Integrating these structural safety nets ensures the organic learning is both measurable and, accessible to everyone.
Absolutely. Please implement these actionable suggestions and submit your revised work back in again for more feedback.
Because ultimately, an unforgettable, immersive dinner party is wonderful, but we want to make sure every single guest leaves thoroughly nourished.